Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Happy Labor Day 2016. You know, I haven't been on RPGNet in a long time, and I was on there the other day, and there was this great thread, and it was about like what do you think the critical elements of an OSR game, are? What does a game have to have in order to be considered old school or OSR, old school Renaissance, whatever you want to call it? And first, let me preface this by saying, OSR does not equal good, and modern does not equal bad. I just happen to like old school, whatever that is, better. And I think I answered this question differently than I would have 4 or 5 years ago. And so I like to think of myself as older and wiser, and I know I'm at least 50% of that. Um, one of the things I said right off the bat was like the older I get, the less I really care about the specific mechanics, and more about the spirit of the game. Because there was a time I would have said, well, it's got to have these 6 attributes, it's got to have levels, and all that sort of thing. I don't think that matters as much. It's probably that there's some way to improve. That's a good thing, and there's some number somewhere says how good you are at something. That's probably good enough. But things I really think are important now are like things like fast resolution. Emphasis on player creativity, on skill, on player agency. That's kind of old school. Let's say other games don't have it. The idea of like rulings versus rules. That's really, to me, very old school, where there isn't a rule for everything. If people are having fun outside, you can hear it. The idea that you're allowing the dice to determine the outcomes. I like that. That to me is very old school, and that can be just rolling up your character. Oh, okay, I guess that's what my guys like. Okay, how can I play that? Something where it's a little. I didn't put this down in the actual typed response, but something where it's robust enough to be house rolled. The whole system doesn't fall apart. If you tinker with it a little bit. Now all that stuff is important, but to me, like it boils down to like any game that I can teach to a group of non-gamers in an hour while they're playing it is old school in spirit. Any game that can be mastered by studying the rules isn't. So that to me would be like really my final answer. I like things to be simple. I like things to be easy. And to me, it's really old school. If you can sit down with a bunch of people, they just have no idea what role playing is like. Say, let's start. Okay, do this. And in an hour they get it. That's old school. I like that.